Hello. Hi, Mike.
How's it going?
Good. So, Jared just lost internet.
Oh, that's fun.
His internet broke literally right as we started. So, I'm Jared now.
You're Jared. That's great. This is the best. I mean, this is just how birthday specials go with us, right? That's just all there is to it. It's something that inevitably just breaks down.
Oh yeah, that's how it is. Don't know what happened with Jared, but apparently he has no internet. So.
That's fantastic.
So, welcome to What Nodcast. I'm Anthony Denney. Michael Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm Michael. How's it going? It's weird without Jared, but I get it.
It's very weird without Jared. I hope that his internet fixes before I go, because I will not be on here for an extended period of time. And if people aren't popping in,
yeah, I know, right? Where are you going for dinner? Do you guys know yet?
We're going to Olive Garden.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Because everything else was too fancy.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's also probably the closest sub-Italian that there is to you.
Yeah, I wanted Italian, and it's like, yeah. I think I'm supposed to do this.
Maybe I smoked something. Shaggy, what did you give me?
My beautiful wife, and she's great, and I love her.
Okay, I'm just gonna remove it so it stops doing that.
All right, got that going.
Woo! Intro done.
If I'm talking with Jared right now, he's believe it or not so happy.
Oh, I could entirely believe that.
But hop on the comments. So, how are you doing today, Mike?
I'm exhausted. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week. It is Monday.
It's been a long week. I stand by my statement.
Yep, Mike does overtime. I had a completely opposite day today. I did literally nothing.
I was going to say, how was your day off?
Yeah, it was very nice. I watched My Hero Academia.
Yeah, me too.
Actually, how do I turn that off? I watched. I can tell.
Yeah, I've burned through 435 episodes now, or no, just since I started watching it, I've burned through 13 plus 46 episodes.
All right. Yeah, I started season 5 today, and I made it. Well, I started at episode 88, so the end of season 4.
Yeah.
And I made it to episode 94. So
okay.
That's what I did. Took some breaks, got some gas, stuff like that. Jared is in here, but I don't know if he's actually able to talk or anything. But he's here in spirit.
He's there in representation, if nothing else.
Yes. Yeah, so he is there, but he can't do anything.
That's just fantastic.
But we love you, Jared, and he's going to do his best to get on.
This is what he gets for trying to plan shit. I'm just going to say that, just in general.
Yeah. I'm glad that I asked if we could start a little bit earlier so I could be on.
Right.
So that, imagine if this happened without anything.
Yeah, I would be dropping off almost instantaneously. I can't entertain people I don't know that are far more knowledgeable on nerd shit than I am. What the fuck do you expect from me?
Yeah, it's problem. Looks like Jared is having his router issue corrected. And when that happens, I'm probably going to bounce off of this one. Because believe it or not, I'm on the official Oddcast account. We have 2 separate accounts, one for my CLT and one for the main account.
Right.
I pulled off my Sanoderm. For those who don't know, today is my birthday.
It is.
It is. I
He's
turned
107.
Close. About 80 years off. Yeah, maybe. I turned 27, or I will turn 27 at 10:05 tonight. And for my birthday, there's private chat. All right, Jared says that his router is rebooting, so good news.
Mm-hmm.
But for how did he get that back up there? But for my birthday, my lovely wife, she paid for a tattoo, and I took off the Saniderm today, and you can't really see that because it's kind of dark. Boop. But got a nice. It's the portal from Twilight Princess, my second favorite Zelda game after Wind Waker. So it is very nice.
It is a really nice tattoo. What needs to be touched up on it?
There's some part at the very tip where the Saniderm peeled off. Oh, so Jared's digging around. I see how it is.
Yeah, I got it.
Hey!
Jesus.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. The router decided to just shut off for some reason. I don't know. We had to reboot it.
Likely story.
It fucking what? I was sitting here and all of a sudden Anthony dropped and I'm like, oh, we lost Anthony. That's weird. And then it popped up the little internet icon and I looked and everything dropped and I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. And I had to run out and fucking dig out find the fucking router, reset it, reboot it, all that shit.
You know, exact opposite happened for me, where it was like, oh, Jared left. Let me leave, and then pull up the new one that Jared's going to send me. And then I saw your message saying internet broke, and I went, oh no.
Yeah, no. Apparently the roommate said it happened yesterday too. They had to reboot it. I don't know. I think their router's probably just going bad, but you know, things happen.
Yeah, it does.
Speaking of things happening, can I just start off with what happened to me last night?
I tried to follow that saga, but dude, like it got way too confusing between the storylines in My Hero Academia, me trying to help 4 people on chat, and fucking just working. Like I was like, I don't have time for this shit. Someone needs.
You got to go plus ultra.
Yeah, I know. Okay, they just got done with their internships. That's where I'm at. Like, yeah, right. So like, fuck,
Okay,
it's good. Fuck, it's good.
Let me hop on and I can pull up. I could actually pull up the pictures here.
I'm so upset that it took me so long to get into this anime. Like
it's honestly one of the animes that like it's a great starter anime. Like if you don't watch anime,
yes.
Okay, so
I realize I'm missing out on a lot of things by listening to it as dubbed and not reading the subtitles. But me trying to read subtitles at work. Fuck, that would be hard.
Mike, I'm the same way. With My Hero specifically, I watched the dub, not subbed.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Pull those up, and let me pull them up on screen for you all while I explain. The jokey history time we're going to open up with that I have here because I never in a million fucking years would I have thought this would happen on my way home from work. So to preface this, me and my coworker who I'm getting an apartment with, he helps get me to work and whatnot with my truck dying. We were on our way to get me home, and there's a farm that we pass by every fucking day, and they're always doing whatever. It's they have a dairy farm and they have some fields with stuff. And we're driving home, and mind you, we closed the restaurant, so it's like almost 2 a.m. at this point by the time we're headed home. And we drive by and we see like a big bright light, and we're like, oh, they must be having like a bonfire or something. That's, it's the weekend, like probably like a hard day's work, whatever. Like, all right. And as we get closer, and as we get closer, the light has gotten brighter. We're like, oh, that seems a bit bright for a bonfire. It must be a really big one. We pass by the first house. There's like a house, and then there's like the clearing that leads up to the barn, whatever, where they normally park things. And we see the gate open, and we see a tractor in the middle of a harvester and a truck. And the tractor, from the way it looks from the road, the entire seat looked like it was being dragged into the pit of hell. It was just a giant fireball coming out of the center of this fucking thing. And both of us, as we're driving, Paul's like, you think they got that? And I'm like, I don't know, man. That seemed pretty out of control. We stopped there. There was literally a dirt road that connected onto the main route. We're like, okay, pull up. Let me see that road sign. We call 911. We tell them we're on route, blah, blah, blah. And here's the road. Like, it intersects. The farm we're talking about is literally 2 minutes behind us. We turn around, drive up because they want details about what's going on. And as we pull up, the flame that originally was just the seat, that, as I said, looked like the pit of fucking hell coming out of the tractor seat, had now become the entire vehicle was aflame. And as I'm on the phone, I sound like a fucking idiot because I'm just shocked by what the fuck is going on. And I'm like, yeah, so the seat's not on fire anymore. It's the entire thing is on fire. The entire thing is a fireball. I'm like, trying to explain to them. They're asking me for like, what's your name? How do you spell that? And I'm just here like, no, you don't understand. Like, they're like, vehicles are literally a fireball. Like, I get it's your job, but like, is there anyone coming? Because holy shit, this is getting out of control so quickly. Yeah, and then a tire exploded. Very loudly exploded. And me and Paul put it in reverse, and I'm like, yeah, no, back up. Like, I don't know if that was part of the gas tank starting to go or if that was a tire, but all I know is there's 3 vehicles, and I assume they all have their diesel tanks full. This is not going to be a fun time. And I told them, like, there's now explosions. The things are exploding on the tractor now. The people are like, whatever. Paul gets out of the car. He's asking them, like, did you guys call 911? They're like, yeah, no, we called. And yeah, no, it's in the span of 10 minutes from us hanging up the phone and this fire going, it engulfed not only the main like harvester that they were working on originally, because we talked to them. I'll get into that. That one had completely set up, and it also caught the other harvester that was next to it on fire. And on top of that, there was a tanker truck that they were putting like the corn and whatnot that they'd been getting for their feed so they could take it and store it. That truck was parked in front of those. So by the end of this, all 3 of them were on fire. All fucking 3 of these vehicles were just fireballs. You couldn't tell what vehicle was what anymore. Let me show you folks. I drew this picture for them to say that there were 3 vehicles originally. There's like a cab of a truck that's barely visible beyond the flames, and there's 2 harvesters in there that are just nothing but flames. You can't even fucking tell what they are anymore. This was about 10, 15 minutes after we saw it and pulled around. Like, this was in a span of like 10 minutes. These things were just fucking gone. And then it didn't get any better, folks. Oh, there you go, Anthony. Is that the green screen or is that a blanket?
It's a green screen.
Okay. Yeah, and then I had the picture from far away because this is when things were really, really exploding. Like, more than just the tires exploding, and we had to pull way up because everyone was getting the fuck out of there. And if you'll notice, folks, there's gas tanks right next to the fire right there. The only thing that saved them, as we talked to the owners, as the fire department was getting there, was that they just had them filled yesterday. So they're like, that's the only good thing is if they catch it, it'll be a big fireball, but it won't make a big boom boom. About the only good thing. Other than that, so the harvester that caught on fire was their old one. They had the John Deere guy had been there earlier that day with the new harvester that was next to it because he was getting everything connected and swapped over for them. They had just got done in the field that day. So the combination of a hot machine that something didn't cool down right, on top of just being coated in all the shit from the field caught real quick. They spent $400,000 on that new harvester, and it is now a pile of blackened ash and metal.
Man, I hope they had insurance.
So they lost that. They lost the old harvester, and they lost one of their filling trucks that they were putting all the grain into before they stored it.
Did any of the oh, it was grain, not corn. I was gonna hope it was corn. It was gonna be like everyone gets popcorn. It just explodes everywhere. Just popcorn going all hither and yon.
Man, it was like explosion after explosion because like there was the first initial one, which was one of the tires, but it was fucking loud and very violent, and that's when everybody started backing away, and then more tires started exploding. by the time like the fireball, like I have a 7-second video I sent to these guys. I think I might have posted it on Twitter as well. You can follow us at Oddcast and you can see all the stuff there as well. At that point, all the vehicles were exploding, and it wasn't just the vehicle. Like, it was a big enough explosion. We knew it was the gas tanks in the vehicles that were exploding.
Yeah.
No, the fire department didn't get there for like 20-30 minutes. So like by the time they got there, all 3 vehicles were burnt to shit. Like there was nothing worth saving. The only thing they could do was just put it out. That was it. The fire had stopped spreading and everything was basically burnt out at that point.
Yeah.
That was a fun night.
When I was reading this to Heather after she got home from work, I looked at her and I said, I have a boring life. Mike has a boring life. Shit fucking happens to Jared.
It's so true. You sent that comment in the chat about the cows like that, and I was
we didn't even realize it.
It's just you and animals, and just shit happens to Jared.
We didn't even realize the cows were in the barn at first because all you could hear was the burning of vehicles. And then as we were standing there, we started to hear the cows mooing as the flames got brighter. And we're like, oh, fuck, the barn is full of fucking cows. Not only were they cows, mind you, when we were talking to them, they're like, no, those are our pregnant heifers. Like, this is our dairy farm. Like, they're all pregnant. Like, that's where they were. And we're like, fuck, are they all getting out? And they're like, no, our sons are already in the back of the barn. They've opened up the gate. They're already taking off into the fucking field. And we're like, thank God. Holy shit, because like where the fire was like burned part of the barn, which is why the sons like immediately went to just go let the cows out because it was going to burn the whole fucking barn down.
I was so worried for a second there. Despite the fact that I'm laughing because I have a really messed up sense of humor.
You know how people talk about PTSD?
Uh-huh. Yeah, post-traumatic stress disorder.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to have PTSD of cow moose.
Would just like to say that BetterHelp, if you're listening, please sponsor us so we can get Jared some help.
So he can get
really
a
needs
better
it.
mood. Right,
no, it was
that silence.
That was my night. Anthony, I will not acknowledge that.
Nope.
That was my night coming home.
Now,
calling
was that
to a fucking fire?
That was last night, the 19th, right?
Yeah, it was a full moon, if I remember correctly. Looking up in the sky, I remember distinctively seeing what looked like a full moon, and I made Paul laugh in the middle of all this by going, "Fuck you, full moon, just fuck you." And I made Paul stop recording everything going on and just have a moment to laugh and look at me and go, "Really?" It's like, what? It's a full moon. Like all the bad shit happens. I'm like, "Fuck you!" Like.
Man, this just reminds me of the time where fucking Jared and I were just walking because that's what you fucking did in Casadega. You did drugs, you got laid, or you went for walks. Well, we weren't doing 2 of them at the moment, so
no, I definitely wasn't getting laid. I still don't.
And I wasn't getting high. I still don't. But I remember that cat being eaten alive, and that was an awful sound.
Cat being eaten alive. You talking about when the neighbor's dog ate a cat?
Yeah, when Thor ate a fucking cat.
Yeah, you know, barn cats, man.
Yeah, that sound will be forever burned to my brain, and gotta thank Jared for that sound.
I've heard many horrifying sounds living on a farm, but what I heard last night was...
Did you hear the cows go, Jason, no, move?
Oh my God. No, it was just...
You got a pretty mouth there.
Now, that's the thing. For like people who haven't grown up on a farm or like in the countryside at all, and I know most of you probably have to watch this, and I you know, I get you understand. But if you don't live in the countryside enough to hear cows mooing regularly, the sound these cows made was the most panicked mooing ever, and it was in a chorus unison panic moo as this flame grew, and I had to listen to that the entire fucking time. It was like a high-pitched whale moon.
Well, I can't wait to tell my wife that no cows were actually on fire.
As far as I know, no cows were injured because the sons, like because they couldn't put it out, their first thought was to immediately let the cows out. He's like, we can't stop it. The tractor's already gone. It's just going to keep going. Like, we got to at least save them. And they just sold the farm too. Like, they just sold the farm. We were talking to them like this week. So they were just waiting for everything to finalize. And they're like, yeah, now we're $400,000 in the hole for buying a new harvester that was now set ablaze and so on and so forth. And Anthony dipped out. Dipped out earlier than I thought he would, but Anthony dipped out. So no, that was my night. That was my horrible, horrifying PTSD riddled night with cows, and
no
fire.
shit.
So I got this really cool mouse here. It's a Logitech where these fucking side buttons are programmed to go back and forward between a browser. So I went to go move my mouse and I clicked one and I backed out.
Okay. That explains a lot.
But that gave me the time just to move back to my account as opposed to the
that's fair
main account.
But yeah, did you do intros and whatnot before I got in here?
Yeah,
because
we did it twice actually.
Okay. And Jared Medican, Jokey Pants.
I was gonna say no one knows who you are yet, so you might want to do you.
Well, you know,
we talked about you. I played the intro a little late, but I got it played. And,
okay, well, you know, I was just more worried about just getting it started while I finagled that. But anyway, guys, onward and upward, because we only have Anthony for so long, and I want to get some stories out of him before he goes. With that, Anthony,
hi.
Do you know the topic today?
Yes.
Yes, Paul. Yes. Anyway.
Yes, I do. Today's topics, we're talking about movies and our experiences in the theater.
Yes, our best and worst. It could be a movie that you saw that you didn't enjoy and you just had a bad time. It could be the people that were in the theater, just in general, because we've been going back to the theater a bit more as of late. $5 movie days. What is it? Yep. Monday and Tuesdays. The theater in Hastings there that we go to, and it's like, yeah, why not? Because we can see a newer movie and pay $5.
It's gonna be interesting on October 1st when me and Anthony go see Venom, Let There Be Carnage, because Jared's too busy moving to go see it with us.
Oh,
and we spoil everything.
I'll probably be working.
It's on a Monday.
Is it on a Monday? It's on Friday.
Right.
Yeah, it's on a Friday.
But that means Thursday release.
I may try to take that day off just because. Yeah, it's supposed to be moving in that day too. I might take the day off. Who the fuck?
Heather actually wants to see that movie
because it's Tom Hardy with his shirt off.
I mean, he's not. I don't think she actually knows Tom Hardy.
Really? Oh, yeah. She must be in it for. God,
for Venom.
No, I'm drawing a blank on the other actor's name.
Woody Harrelson.
Thank you. Yeah, she must be in it for Woody.
That's possible. He's a great actor. No, she saw the trailer yesterday, and she's like, "That looks interesting." I'm like, "All right, I'm putting you on the list."
Did you? Okay, so I have to bring this up now. So the director of Venom,
Andy Serkis,
has said that a crossover with Venom and Spider-Man and the whole MCU thing is going to happen. It's just a matter of when and how they decide to do it. They also asked Woody and Tom Hardy, and Woody Harrelson was very much denied it entirely, was very professional about just avoiding a question that he knows he's not allowed to answer. And I'm pretty sure I sent you guys the thing with Tom Hardy that he riddled off a paragraph worth of something to say that made absolutely no fucking sense, but gave away that something is happening. And it was funniest fucking thing. Well, I think it depends on how the fans feel and the audience reactions. But, some of these things are decided and, they may or may not happen. It's just a matter of when and how and who's involved. And I'm sitting there reading it and I'm like, he's confirming, but he's doing God bless him. He's doing a Tom Holland here where he's trying not to say it, but he's struggling to not say it.
it's like the difference between like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, because someone asks Andrew Garfield like, "Hey, are you in the new Spider-Man movie?" He's like, "No, I'm not in it." And then someone's like, asks Tobey Maguire, like, "Hey, are you in the Spider-Man movie?" He's like, "No, I'm not in it."
Yeah, but
I winked for the audio
stuff too. But yeah, Anthony did wink for the audio listeners. But I just thought that was interesting, especially because their trailer is now saying the universe is expanding. So it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, that was
come on, guys. Come on, who do you think we are? Stupid. Anyway,
yeah.
So Anthony, what's the best or worst experience you had at a theater?
Well, the first best experience we've already talked about multiple times, where I used to go see a movie and then go see a movie again. So
clarification.
For clarification, back in high school, when I was dating a girl, we would go see movies regularly as a thing.
See a movie. Yeah, that's what they call it.
But during the movie, we were young, horny. The theater was empty, so she was sucking my dick.
Some might say it was the summer of '69.
Yeah, but I would always want to actually see these movies because I like movies. They're one of my favorite hobbies. So I would go before and see them.
What it was like.
Yeah, I would see and watch the whole movie, and then go see it again, but knowing that I'm not going to watch this movie.
To clarify for everybody, like Anthony would like talk up the movie, like I've heard it's really good and blah blah blah, and then he'd take her, and then that would just devolve into Anthony getting it on. Meanwhile, little did she know he'd fucking seen this movie. Like he knew he was going to enjoy it regardless. There was only one reason they were going.
Yep, I specifically remember Terminator Salvation, Avatar, Ice Age 3.
That one always stuck out to me, the Salvation one. I don't know why.
But no, I would say, honestly, disregarding that, I mean, you can't really top that as a...
You can't. You might be able to, but anyway.
Okay. But I remember going to go see Avengers Endgame opening day. Matter of fact, you can tell that my wife loves me because we did this for her birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. We rented a hotel in Grand Rapids, and there was a movie theater nearby, so we went and watched that. And oh my God, the audience laughing, cheering, screaming. Spoiler alert for Endgame, but everyone's seen Endgame by now, at least twice.
I would hope you've seen it if you're into any of the stuff.
But when Captain America picked up Mjolnir, to this day, whenever I watch that scene, I get like the opposite of PTSD. Like I get this great nostalgic blast back to me, where like I just feel that the energy from that just resonating with me, and everyone just screaming at the top of their lungs, cheering, being like, "Yeah, motherfucker!"
Honestly, I think Endgame, it's not Endgame and Infinity War both. Like they're not the same watching it as at home as it was in the theater. And I've heard a lot of people say that, and it's true. It's just there was more. Like the theater I went to for Endgame, they had like the tables with the dust and everyone's picture, and it was like remember the fallen, avenge the fallen thing, and it was like a neat little thing to walk into a theater and like this whole homage going into Endgame.
It was,
and so the theater, the crowd reactions. You're correct, because I saw it with Infinity War and Endgame. Like the reactions of the people when things were happening was just nothing comes close to that if you watch it at home.
No, it was great. It was the best experience. If I could watch a movie over for the first time in the exact same way, it would be Endgame. Just for that, I don't know if nostalgia is a proper word for it, but I mean that's up for Mike to decide.
No,
nostalgia.
Shot down, Anthony.
But that memory there, one of the worst movies that I remember going seeing in theater was Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yep.
What caused you to not enjoy that?
Now let me clear for everyone. Captain America: Winter Soldier is one of my favorite MC movies. Probably top 3. It probably goes, Shang-Chi, Spider-Man, Far From Home, and Winter Soldier. Those fluctuate depending my mood. But
That's fair.
so it's not that the movie was bad. It's a great movie. I had these two fucking dickheads at the end of the row who were those commentary guys.
I have a few stories that from my childhood that we'll get into things like that should be fun.
Yeah, so I just remember them. I don't remember all their comments. I remember they kept talking and stuff. And this is
They're the worst.
Back in 2013, 2014 when it came out. I think early 2014, if I'm remembering right.
I think so.
But it's terrible because it was before I moved here. But and I don't remember. I only remember one thing that they said because it's the one thing that made me laugh through the entire movie. And it's when the old woman punches Pierce in the face.
Yeah.
And the guy goes like, I think that woke something up in me. And then they removed the face and it was Scarlett Johansson underneath. He's like, oh, okay, thank goodness.
God damn it!
Just that, like the sincerity in his voice, like, I think that just woke something up within me. Oh, thank God.
So speaking of fighting, Anthony. Speaking of fighting, we have somebody who commented on our post because you had the option to post or even tag us. By the way, you could always tag us with hashtag #StayOdd anywhere, anytime, and I can always look it up on Twitter or whatnot if you ever want to shout anything out. Easy enough way for you to do it. But we did have a comment about a theater story. So, BGM_Final Night said, I remember a fist fight broke out in the movie theater, and the employees did their best to break it up and get the two guys out, but I just sat there eating my popcorn and didn't budge.
Eating my popcorn.
I asked him if he remembered what movie it was he was in the theater when this happened. He says that he couldn't remember 100%, but he was pretty sure it was when they re-released The Exorcist in the theaters in the 90s. Which is where I started laughing, because I started to think in my brain, what the fuck causes a fist fight during The Exorcist between two people?
Somebody
jump
spoiled
scare.
the ending.
Fucking.
I've never seen this movie before.
But just wait till her head spins around.
Exorcist.
Just wait till her head spins around and she vomits shit. What the fuck did she just say?
What do you mean she's gonna vomit?
This is bullshit.
Get ready for the jump scare coming up.
It's all fake. This didn't really happen. Shut the fuck up.
But a fist fight, I've never experienced a fist fight in a theater. Although that just sounds fucking great.
Oh no, her head's turning around.
You know, Anthony, that would have worked better if you wrapped the green screen fully around you, but still having your back exposed ruins the effect.
I tried. I'm not a smart man, Jared.
None of us are. That's why we do the show. So going along the lines of Anthony with people talking in a theater, almost every movie I went to with my dad, or at least quite a few of them, there was always people that talked in the front row. Went to go see Harry Potter with him as a kid, and there were people in the front row. The kids and adults kept talking about, like, how are they doing? But how are they gonna? But how did he get? Like that kind of shit. Went to go see Shrek in theaters as a kid.
Donkey.
My dad had to correct this memory for me because I thought it was grandparents and their little ones. No, it was just like a group of old ladies that was in the front row that talked the entire movie for Shrek when we went to go see it. And I had
very much like that.
I had to have him clarify that there were no children. It was just grandmas, like elderly women, for no reason went to go see Shrek and then had complaints the entire movie about anything gross that happened.
I think we know the reason. They were watching before they went on their date next week.
I heard there's a great little movie called Shrek. I'm going to go see it, and if it works, if I know he'll enjoy it, and maybe I get a little action on the side. I heard Anthony's going to be real happy.
No.
It's you and Heather in 30 years.
You know, I've only seen one movie with your dad, and
Green Lantern.
yeah, and so I'm never gonna be able to see another movie with your dad.
Nope.
We gave you Burger King. You ungrateful
You
swine.
gave me Burger King and Green Lantern.
Yeah, what more could you ask for?
I gave you $5. Yeah, you also gave me AIDS.
What more could you ask for, man? It was a great time.
Iron Man,
Yeah, that's fair.
The Dark Knight.
So, for the audio platforms, Cerebral Paul, thank you so much. He said the scene with the crucifix reminds me of your sister last night. Likely started the fight for Exorcist. That I can see picking a fight too. I could also see with like the little details they added. There were like certain little tiny scenes they added when they re-released it. I'd almost imagine it was somebody who's a diehard fan versus somebody who was into the new scenes got into a fist fight. It's such a dumb waste of scenery. She just crab walks down the stairs. That's dumb. It was worth the storytelling.
I like the idea also where he just like bumps the guy next to him and is like, hey, that priest is gonna die at the very end.
You son of a...
All right, but
Anthony's
that's gonna
gotta
be
go
me
for
for
his
now.
Birthday dinner, folks.
Yep, I'm going to Olive Garden. I said earlier.
Have fun
I
at
was in the
Italian
mood for Italian.
Denny's.
I will. So thank you for letting me bounce out early, Jared. You guys have a nice rest of your podcast.
Bye,
Sure.
Anthony.
And I'll talk to you guys on Thursday.
Maybe.
At least Sunday. Jared, by the way, I'm picking you up at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
On Sunday?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Yeah.
No,
Bye-bye.
I didn't realize it was so quick. Anyway, yeah,
I know.
bye.
September flew by.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Yeah.
This month really flew by.
Yeah, he's going. Anthony's going to Italian Denny's for dinner. So, listen, I enjoy Olive Garden as well sometimes, but like when you've had real Italian, you can never go back to fucking Olive Garden after that shit because they put so much salt in everything. Holy fuck! But yeah, no,
they
fine.
put a lot of everything in everything. So
It's a very fair point. Fair point.
So, Michael, do you have any theater experiences?
None that can compare to Anthony's because, like, damn.
Well,
what is the first movie you remember going and seeing in theaters? Do you?
Oh God.
Let's see if you can figure that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the dates because there's three movies I can think of as a kid. I just don't remember what year they came out.
Mm-hmm.
So let me look at that real quick.
Because the earliest memory I have is seeing Mulan in theaters back when my mother still ran a babysitting service. I think it was 1997, and like I had stayed the night at a friend's house. I use the word friend very loosely. It was just one of the kids that my mom babysat for. So we were just close in that way. So I went over to his house, spent the night. Didn't sleep at all because his house was infested with daddy long leg spiders, and I was paranoid that and so like I remember coming home at like 6 a.m. when his mom dropped us both off, and I passed out till like fucking noon. And it's been like the best sleep ever. And then we went and saw Mulan, and like I was like half groggy, and then as soon as I got like Pepsi and popcorn in me, I was fine. But like that's the first movie I remember truly going to see in theaters.
So I looked it up.
Yeah.
The three movies I can remember watching in a theater as a child, funny enough, all came out the same fucking year.
Okay.
2001 was lit, yo.
Yeah.
Because so the first Harry Potter movie, I remember going to see that.
Okay.
not Cerebral Paul. Olive Garden is not Italian. And I will cut anyone who says otherwise.
Right.
I
Yeah,
don't think anyone's going to argue that.
No, 100%. That's why I called it Italian Denny's. It's just like it's not even Italian food fast. It's not like Fazoli's.
Yeah, no.
Have you guys ever had Fazoli's? That's like fast Italian food, and like it runs through you as fast as they get it out to you. That's on a lower level than it's like Fazoli's, Olive Garden, like a bunch of other shit, and then you have like from the motherland or little mom and pop shops, Italian food that hell yeah, that's where it's at. I went to when I was in we went to Cleveland for a Browns game like 2 years ago, but time's irrelevant, so who gives a shit. Me and a group of friends, we stopped at like off on like a beaten path. It was a little mom and pop shop, and his name was Luigi and she was Francesca or whatever, and like fucking like straight up made their own noodle sauce, made their own meatballs, ground their own beef. It was like fucking real Italian. I can never go back. Nothing will ever compare to real Italian food. So, and as a fat man, so good.
As a fat man, yeah, that. Oh, I mean, because like having my Sicilian grandfather growing up. Oh God, did nothing ever beat his spaghetti. It was something else.
No, I believe that.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up all three of these right now because I didn't, for whatever reason, my brain didn't register that these all came out all the same year, and it was like one was spring, July, fall, winter because I think it came out around Christmas. So. The first movie I would have seen that year, and I remember I just actually talked about it, would be Shrek. Came out in 2001.
I have a fun story about Shrek, but go ahead.
But with Shrek, that's the one me and my dad went to go see it, and there was just the fucking old ladies in the front row. And that's what puzzles me and my dad to this day. I'm just like, why were there just 3 random old ladies who decided to go see this fucking movie? It doesn't make any fucking sense. But yeah, so what do you have with when it comes to Shrek?
So when I was in 7th or 8th grade, Shrek 2 came out, right?
Yeah.
And there were 3 English teachers in that grade. And as soon as they found out that Shrek 2 was coming out, was out in theaters near us, they, in the span of a week, decided that they were going to take us on a field trip to see Shrek 2 as 7th and 8th graders. And so, like, that's, like, I've never really taken... Fucking Christ.
Oh, god damn
Paul. And so... Fucking duck. So like in the span of a week, they had to get permission because technically it was PG-13, and then to come to find out the only reason we went and saw it is because it's heavy in like fairy tale shit. And like 2 weeks after we saw this movie, we started like the fairy tale chapter of like American literature and shit like that. So like that is just something that is so predominant. Yeah, have you ever went to a movie theater with a giant class at like 10:30 in the morning? It's fucking dead. There is no one there.
No, so, I never did any of that.
Yeah,
I would have rather done that than that. You lucky bastard. No, so Shrek. Then after Shrek, that same year, it's still fucking crazy for me to recognize these all came out the same fucking year. But right after that, me and my dad. My dad now. For everyone here, we've interviewed my dad before. We'll have another interview coming with him next month. Fiend Gots, Amazon, whatnot. He took me to go see this movie. Now, mind you, he liked to do things that he knows my mother wouldn't let me do, just because like my dad had a different view on things, and he knew that I liked dinosaurs and I liked horror, different things like that. So he took me to go see Jurassic Park 3 in 2001. As a child, mind you, because I'm young, much like my other co-hosts here, younger than a lot of you that are watching. So for me in 2001, I would have been, 7 or 8.
Oh God, fuck! Yes.
or
Holy
8 because
shit.
it came out. I think it came out like the 13th of July, so I would have like just turned 8 or 7 right there. And my dad went to take me to go see this movie, and I remember specifically watching this, and right at the point when they go into the laboratory and they're looking at the like embryos and whatnot in the glass cylinders, and then there's the raptor head, and the raptor's actually alive, and he like looks at her, and it devolves into that whole chase scene. I remember specifically as they're looking at the things, me looking at my dad and going, "Dad, I have to pee," and my dad just being like, "Can you just hold it? Can you just hold it for like 5 more minutes?" Like, "No, Dad, I really have to pee right now." And my dad was so mad because we had to get up right in the middle of a chase scene with a dinosaur so he could take me to the bathroom.
So, Jurassic Park 3. I went and saw Jurassic Park 3 in theaters with another close friend at the time. We were in 5th grade, right? So we went with his parents to see this movie, and we've talked about it at length, me and Heather, or at least I do, is the dream sequence that Sam Neill has about like the raptors on the plane.
Alan.
To this day, still have nightmares about that. In fact, 2 weeks after seeing that movie, I was so scared I wouldn't leave my room at night because I thought there were velociraptors out in the living room waiting for me.
I had an irrational fear after seeing that movie that a Spinosaurus was going to come out of nowhere and eat my dad.
Right, and like I
putting me in the car. Oh.
Yeah. No, that's fun.
Yeah. Oh, so to round this out for earliest movies I remember, the last movie I accidentally put it on screen to before there, but it would be the first Harry Potter movie because that came out in the winter of that year. So it's like I saw Shrek in the spring, Jurassic Park 3, scared the shit out of myself because I'm a stupid kid and was like, dinosaurs, I like the other movies. And then I saw Harry Potter in the winter. And Harry Potter was another one where which this one's actually a funnier one because my mom and my stepdad. Now, I've talked about a lot of my childhood. There wasn't a whole lot of things like going to the theaters and whatnot that we did, but they did take me to go see that as a Christmas present. And my dad had no idea that they had taken me. So he ended up taking me to see it as well when I went up there for a Christmas weekend kind of thing with him. And then being a young kid, again, like 7, 8 years old, and my dad's like, "All right, here's your surprise. We're seeing Harry Potter." And just my dumbass kid self going, I just saw this with Mom like last week. It was really good. His reaction of, "Son of a bitch!" He was so fucking mad because he had no idea.
That's fantastic.
But then once again, we had people commenting towards the front of the theater, just like, "Get that sword! Don't let him get that Sorcerer's Stone, Harry! Don't let him do it! What are you doing? Oh wait, no! Oh, he can't get it, dog! He can't get it!" And I'm not exaggerating; those are the words I remember as a child coming from the front of the theater. Fun times.
Have you ever watched an IMAX movie, like a movie in IMAX? And if you have, what do you remember watching the IMAX in the IMAX? Because I tell you what, mine comes back to, back to the Shrek 2 story, right? That was the first movie that I saw in IMAX, right? And like they did a trailer for like the re-release, like the 25th or 30th anniversary of Beauty and the Beast or whatever. And like, as being a dumb child, I didn't understand like perspective and thing, like depth perception and all that kind of stuff. And like being in front of a big screen like that, like I had straight up vertigo. I almost passed out zooming in towards a castle. Like, it was fucking terrible. Nuts. So yeah.
That's still blowing my mind right now. All 3 of those were the same fucking year. I remember them all, seeing them all in the theater with my dad. I just
burned through them all.
I also, well, me and my dad went to go see a lot of movies. It was kind of like, because like, okay, being a child of divorce for everyone, like if you're a child of divorce, you probably understand is like my dad only got like a weekend or maybe every other weekend, depending on how my mom felt.
Right.
So a lot of the time I go up there for the weekend, he would give me the choice of, do you want to go see a movie, or like there was a medieval fair kind of thing they would do every summer up towards where my dad lived, and when that came into town, it would be like, do you want to go do this or do you want to go to a movie? Like, which one would you rather go do?
Right.
So I went to the medieval fair a couple times. We would go see movies. Another movie I saw with my dad was the fucking Van Helsing with
It's such
Hugh
a
Jackman.
good fucking movie too. So
Definitely should not have seen that as a young, or because that came out around that same early 2000s as well. So I was still a younger kid.
It's so dumb and so good. They tried
It
to start
really
a
is. It gets
monster
shitted
verse.
on, but it's not a bad
It's
movie
such
compared
a
to what they
fun
did
movie.
later.
I mean, that was supposed to be the jumping point of like,
It was.
the Van Helsing
It
verse,
was.
and they fucked it up. But like, still a fun. I will revisit that movie at least once or twice a year. So
it just has so much. Like, they had more fun with that movie than they've tried to do.
Is that Hugh Jackman pre or post X-Men?
That is Hugh Jackman post X-Men, because Wolverine was his first actual movie role.
Okay, was it? That's what I was wondering.
He started as Wolverine and then was in Swordfish right after.
When I was in high school, Swordfish is such an underrated movie too. Sorry. When I was in high school, I was dating a girl who had a giant thing for Hugh Jackman. Like, just
I think a lot of women had a thing for
Hugh Jackman.
it's
so anytime a Hugh Jackman movie came out, I had to watch it with her and watch her fawn over. I never got anything out of it, and watch her fawn over Hugh Jackman. The one movie that, because she had really strict parents and everything like that, and it was a rough relationship from the start and kept on being rough. But it
happens.
The one time I was allowed to come over to her house to help babysit
you watch
her
your
little
mouth fall.
sisters.
I see that comment.
Right. While I was helping babysit her sisters, we had to watch. Have you ever seen the movie Australia? It's another Hugh Jackman movie where he plays like a cowboy.
Himself?
He plays a cowboy, like a really dirty, rough cowboy, and he takes his shirt off a lot. And there's a lot of a lot of sexual tension and implied sexual explicit content, and like that just got my girlfriend's engine all revving. Still got nothing out of it, but like, yeah. So Hugh Jackman movies, that, like Kate and Leopold. I'm trying to think what else he was fucking in, because right there after X-Men, he like burned through a shit ton.
That was the thing. Like, I've seen
up, and then he bulked up, and he got even more fucking shit. I can't wait until he's in Fast and Furious finally.
I've seen enough interviews with him where he's talked about like the Wolverine thing before, of like he was fresh into Hollywood from Australia. He'd done because he's a Broadway performer, which
he's a Broadway.
Most people don't even realize, because they only recognize him from like the bigger movies, but it's like, no, like the man did Broadway production.
No,
he didn't even become a movie actor till his 30s.
Right. No, that's why he's done like Les Mis and The Greatest Showman. It's like, because he can actually his bread and butter. Sing. Like that's his shit.
Yeah. But no, like he was fresh in America, and then trying to see about being a movie actor after some Broadway stuff. Went up for the Wolverine thing. Recently he was in an interview about that, where he talked about he met with the head of Fox at the time when they were casting him for Wolverine, and they loved him. Like, they loved the way he did it. But then he said the head guy there, I can't remember his name, but he was like, yeah, there's only one problem. You're like 6'3", 6'4", whatever. Like, Wolverine's like a 5'5" character. He's like, oh, not a problem. And he's like, I sat on my knees the entire script reading and walked out on my knees after almost 2 hours of this script reading to get this part. And they loved me so much they gave it to me. And especially for the fact that I was willing to sit on my knees to look the part while I did it.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts.
But no, yeah, he did Wolverine, then Swordfish, and fuck that. Yeah, there's a lot of movies in that. that late
Again, he
90s, early
just
2000s where he just blew
fucking
through a ton.
burned him out.
I mean, he's a handsome looking guy. He's a good actor. And because he has that flexibility with singing, they can cast him in a lot more shit. So it
It's
just,
true.
he's a multi-talented person, and they definitely burnt him the fuck out.
100%.
But with Van Helsing, first off, Paul, I don't agree. I don't agree with this comment. It's just burning my brain right now.
Whoa!
I don't agree.
Hang on.
I think Van Helsing is a great movie.
Second.
I think it's so. I think it's more fun.
There's so much in Van Helsing that was so good. Like the whole, like, it's part of like the church and like the Pope, and he's like, it's just so much. There was so much they tried to shove into one movie. I understand why you think it's crap, Paul, but you're wrong, and you can suck my left nut. So you're wrong. You should go revisit that movie.
You
and
triggered
watch
Michael.
it again, and then tell me it's crap, because it's not crap. Kate and Leopold is crap, okay?
Okay, Van Helsing is better than what they try to do with The Mummy for making a dark universe.
Oh, like, fuck, that was dumb.
Like, at least that one, yeah, there was a lot that they tried putting in there to make some kind of universe, but it was a fun ride while they did it. It wasn't terrible. Just start to finish.
Yeah.
But I remember sitting in the theater with my dad watching that, and when Frankenstein showed up in that movie, there later on, he's like walking out. It's like the fight scene when he's on the bridge of the castle. And he's like walking out. He has those big ass shoes. And my dad just looks over at me with like this dumbass grin on his face. And I'm like, what? He's like, he's got pretty big shoes. You know what that means? And as a young adult myself, I just immediately started laughing. And looked at my dad and like, you're not right. He's like, what? I'm just pointing a fact.
Would just like to real quick, because we're talking, we just kind of on Hugh Jackman. Let's run through some of his movies.
Let's talk about Hugh
starting with 2000's X-Men, right? Great, and then he's in Someone Like You. He's in Swordfish, Kate and Leopold, and that is all like 2000, 2001. 2003 is X-Men 2, Standing Room Only. And then 2004 is Van Helsing, The London Assignment, which is apparently a short video, which I've never seen, which might actually help explain a lot of the fucking shit in Van Helsing when I first
would.
Then Van Helsing, and then X-Men Last Stand, Scoop, The Fountain, The Prestige, and then he's in Flushed Away. Did you guys remember that he's in Flushed Away? He's the main fucking rat in Flushed Away.
Oh my god, he's the main rat?
Yeah, he's the main fucking rat in Flushed Away. And then he's in Happy Feet, something called Viva Logland, I don't know, Uncle Johnny, and then he's in Deception, and then he's in Australia, the movie I talked about in 2008. 2009 is X-Men Wolverine Origins. 2011, X-Men First Class. Then he's in something called Snowflake and the Secret Fan. He's in Butter, and then he's in Real Steel. Do you remember Real Steel, where he's that fucking boxing instructor?
Do you remember Real Steel? I tried to watch it recently and realized there's a reason I've only ever seen that movie one time.
And then
not a great movie.
And then here's probably one of my favorite Hugh Jackman voices is, remember Rise of the Guardians and how he's the Easter Bunny? Do you remember how he's the Easter Bunny in Rise of the Guardians?
No,
it's so fucking good. And then, of course, his most iconic role, besides being Jean Valjean, is the dude with the balls on his chin in 43, which we have talked about at length on this podcast.
That movie gets so much shit for good reason. But there are bits in that are just fucking great. When I first saw movie 43, I didn't know what to expect. But when your opening thing is Hugh Jackman, and you're like, oh, what's this gonna be? Removes the scarf, and there's just giant droopy fucking balls on it.
They just get in the soup. They get in
Nobody acknowledges it. This woman's on a
away, just like crazy? Or are they
Oh.
actually there?
Oh, so good. So good. So let's continue, right? 2013, he's in The Wolverine, Prisoners. And then 2014, he's in X-Men Days of Future Past. He's also in Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb. Apparently he plays himself, but he's uncredited. Sure.
Yeah.
2019 is Hugh Jackman. He plays himself, a voice in Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. I've never seen that.
No, I've never seen it either.
Okay. He's also in
Yeah, so
Chappie.
much.
Do you remember Chappie? Another like Real Steel movie.
Oh my god, he is in Chappie.
He's in Chappie.
Yeah, he plays the like government dude who's like, we're gonna take this technology for this and go fuck yourself with what you want to do.
And then another iconic role that I think a lot of people forget about. You remember Pan, the Peter Pan like origin story that they did in 2015? Yeah, remember how
I remember it came out.
Yeah, remember how he plays Blackbeard the fucking pirate? You remember how he plays Blackbeard the pirate, right?
No, because I've not seen it. I've not watched
It's so fucking good. You should actually watch it. It's a good movie. And then, and this is actually my favorite role of his in the most recent that I can say is he played Bronson Perry in Eddie the Eagle. And if you haven't watched Eddie the Eagle, you really should, because it's actually a really good fucking movie. So it stars him.
A lot of movies that I need to add to my list now.
Yeah, it stars him and Trent Egerton after Trenton comes off the Kingsman run that he had.
Okay.
Basically, Egerton plays like a British Olympic long ski jumper, and they don't really. Yes, it was a very interesting take, Paul. I will agree with that 100%. But it was good.
Well, I guess,
it had a lot of fun.
Guess if you haven't seen Pan, I guess you better go see it, folks.
Followed by X-Men Apocalypse, and then he's in Logan. Followed by The Greatest Showman. He's in the tourism ad that they ran at the Super Bowl for Dundee, the Legend Returns. He's the Prime Minister.
Yeah.
He's in Front Runner, The Missing Lick, Bad Education. He's in Free Guy, apparently. And then, of course, his newest one that's coming up is Reminiscence.
I actually just watched that. I was waiting until you got to the end. I knew that was going to come up.
Okay, yep, that's where I'm at.
What a confusing ass fucking movie.
Is it basically Total Recall? Because that's what it reminds me of. Is it's just Total Recall?
The trailer leads you to believe it's like Total Recall, without giving away the movie itself. Because for fair warning for everyone, it is a longer movie. Because I watched it. It's on HBO Max. You can watch it there. I think it's like 2 hours, maybe just over 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's a very slow burn.
Okay.
Like the beginning.
That's what the trailer made it look like.
Yeah, the beginning's kind of slow, but it gets very fucking confusing because they're dealing with memories. So Hugh Jackman's guy, it doesn't. And by the way, this isn't spoiling the movie. This is literally just the trailer kind of tells you, and this is just in the like opening of the movie. They explain this shit. He's like an ex-Marine from the Gulf Wars when the waters were rising. There were all the riots and whatnot. He's an ex-soldier, but he has this business of letting people physically and mentally relive their memories, because with the land all gone, people lost everything. So he gives them a chance to relive things that they want to try to remember.
Right.
But it's a bit of a slow burn to start. But the reason I say it gets confusing, there's a lot of times where there's a memory going on and you don't get told that it's a memory right off the bat. So it is one of those, you'll get kind of confused at first when that happens, because you're like, wait, shit, I thought that was actually happening and it was just a memory.
Right.
But the ending, I did like the ending. I thought it had a very touching, heartfelt wrap up of an ending. Very touching movie. It had more heart and emotion than I thought it had to it, because the trailer makes it seem like it's more of like a thriller action-y thing. But it's very much just dealing with memories and like heartfelt, meaningful kind of thing message by the end of it. But I thought it was pretty decent. It's just a pretty long one, so just be prepared for that. But if you enjoy Hugh Jackman and you don't mind like a mystery kind of thing going on, I didn't think it was that bad.
I probably won't watch it, but thank you for the recommendation.
Yeah. Well,
I
so
would-
he's planning on watching it, so I wish you luck there, sir. I hope you enjoy it.
Agreed. Another movie that I remember distinctly seeing with the girlfriend that we're talking about is Avatar. Not The Last Airbender.
You blew
James
people
Cameron's Avatar.
Yeah.
James Cameron's Avatar, which
Smurfs.
will eventually get the rest of the series. Eventually.
At some point, whenever James Cameron decides that they're good enough to come out, he might be dead by the time that happens at this point.
It's so true. So
The special
true.
effects aren't what I want them to be. That needs to outbeat the first movie.
I mean,
James, we don't have the technology.
You shut the fuck up. We have it, damn it.
He'll make the
I've been to the
technology. That's the
trench.
thing. You read some of the stories about people that have worked with James Cameron on movies, and they're like, he wants us to do this thing. So I had to go out and invent this thing to do this thing. And now all of Hollywood has this thing because fucking James Cameron wanted to do like a really weird camera shot.
I watched. I was watching one of the YouTube channels that I watched. They did the Titanic recently, and they went into like the more detailed behind the scenes shit. And the amount of miniatures that he made for like the inside shots of that thing flooding,
fucking nuts.
Yeah, absolutely fucking insane that he took the time to hand model these things. Yeah, that was the thing too. They're talking about it, and they were like, "Yeah, no, he like wanted to hand model fucking interior Titanic for it flooding." And I'm like, "This dude's fucking insane." That just the amount of time he took to be like, "No. We're not doing it that way. We're doing it this way and this way only." Like, dude, you're fucking mental. Like, absolutely mental. But I mean, his movies turn out fine. It's just the way he goes about things is very fucking mental. Of you're doing it his way, and there is no other option. There's only the James Cameron way.
I mean, at this point in time, it's worked for him, so no one's going to tell him otherwise.
That's fair. I also agree. I mean, I can't say best Marvel movie. Maybe I can because it's not technically MCU, so I guess you could say Marvel movie. I would classify Logan as one of my all-time favorite superhero movies. As a fan of Wolverine. I would say it was the best that Fox ever fucking did. Like, out of everything Fox was able to put out besides Deadpool, because Deadpool's hard for me to count because he's not getting rebooted. He's just coming over to the MCU as is because Deadpool can work that way.
Right.
But if you're not including Deadpool, I'd say Logan was the best that Fox did with any Marvel property they had because they didn't shit on it. There wasn't a ton of rewriting and scripting that happened that made it turn out like shit. Like all of the fucking X-Men movies after their first one every fucking time.
Yep.
Logan turned out well, and it's not just because they gave it an R rating to let him be gory. It was just it had more emotion put into it with the characters that they decided to use. That movie 100%. Just worked on every level.
100%.
So no, I agree there. I really enjoyed Logan.
I went and saw Logan because that's the most recent, really, X-Men movie that I've seen.
I wish.
It's the only time I've really gotten emotional at a movie. Like I was not expecting to get that emotional at Logan. Like, I don't typically cry in theaters, and that one fucking got me.
I watched this by myself at first.
Yep.
It wasn't in a theater. At the time I had a website that I was using because there wasn't a theater near me where I was living, and I just really wanted to see Logan. Right. I was able to find it, watched it, cried like a little baby back bitch at the end. Came downstairs when I was at this point I was roommating with my buddy Johnny O, and went downstairs when they had some buddies over, and I'm like, "You guys want to watch Logan?" And they're like, "Looks like you've been crying." And I'm like, "You don't even understand, guys. We're gonna watch this, and I'm gonna cry like a little bitch again when we get to it."
No, I get it.
What do we got here? We got another comment from Paul. Personally, I think the time for Avatar sequels may have passed. Sir, I've been saying that since
forever.
You said that they're not going to come out till like 2023 or 24.
I think like
at this point, man, what the fuck?
Paul, do you remember Sam Worthington? You know how he was in like Clash of the Titans and Attack of the
he was in a
Titans?
lot there
Like,
for a while.
and now he's not in anything because James Cameron has him fucking bogged down with 5 Avatar sequels.
Avatar.
He literally can't do anything because he signed exclusive rights to just be wherever James Cameron fucking needs him to be for filming of an Avatar sequel.
There's
I'm not shitting you guys. Like, if you look at his like fucking cast, it's like, yeah, everything.
I know.
As soon as they announced the second Avatar, it's like fucking nothing. Absolutely,
he's wrapped up in James
nothing.
Cameron now. Another thing with that. There's another actor who's tied up with different movies he's doing. Timothy Chalamet. Is that how you pronounce his name? Chalamet?
Yeah, Chalamet.
He was originally signed on to do a Willy Wonka origin movie because that's what we need, an origin about Willy Wonka before the factory.
We got it in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We got it.
Technically, we did, but now that's
and if
the
you
movie
read,
that they're
read the fucking book.
Yeah, I mean that's the easiest way. But that was a movie that they that was put in that I had seen was going to be being put into production. The problem is he also was signed on for Dune, and only one of those movies was going to be a major blockbuster.
Yeah, no shit.
So he's currently trapped up in Dune and can't do anything for Wonka just yet.
I don't want a Willy Wonka origin story. I don't want. The issue is if you read about like both Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder, and the fact that Roald Dahl fucking hates Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He's dead now, rest in peace. But even his daughter, who owns his estate, is like, yeah, when we gave them the rights to do this, it was under certain stipulations. And then the studio basically said, no, fuck you, it's a musical too. And we're going to make all these creative decisions and whatnot. The premise is the same, where there's going to be like 5 golden tickets and chocolate bards. And that's why you get the reboot with Johnny Depp as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is what it really is. And you get that weird creative decisions. While it's still a musical, it's more true to the source material. And I just don't need another fucking Willy Wonka in my life.
Yeah, no, Paul has the right comment here. Let's pull this up for all of you on the podcast platform. This is coming from the live chat because, again, shows typically go live on our YouTube. We're also on Twitch now for everyone. But yeah, Paul, I agree with you. Don't ruin Gene Wilder. Like,
oh no,
I agree there. Which this origin thing, like. Which, by the way, I'm going to say something that maybe some people find controversial. Or maybe you're not going to agree with it. You think I'm hate speeching, whatever. I'm not. I'm just making an observation for me personally.
That's fair.
Timothy Chalamet he looks like some kind of what was supposed to be the perfect human being from an alien, and that's what he is. Like, I don't know what it is about him, but there's just something about the way he looks. It just, to me, always just... I just see it as like he looks like an alien.
Okay, I know who it is now. I had to put a face.
I don't know what it is.
I had to put a face to it. He's the prince in Dune, right? Or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's our main character for Dune next to
Zendaya.
Zendaya, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's fine. He looks okay. The issue. Okay, so what you're having is he is a white, thin man.
Very, very
with
thin,
curly
very
black hair. So I don't know how much.
And he has like those pearlescent blue eyes that like pierce your fucking soul when he looks at the camera.
Did you ever watch on Nickelodeon? It was called the Naked Brothers Band.
I did not. No.
Let me find the fucking name. Oh, so you watched Jumanji and Jumanji 2, or whatever it was, right? With us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
the main character, the guy, I'm trying to find his fucking name. I'm sorry. It's just Nate Wolf, right? He is also, if you've ever looked him up, he looks exactly like yes, they were slaves in the book. Schnozberries. Yes. Yes. That's great. Great conversation, Paul. Great conversation, Paul. I will go off on a side tangent real quick, but the reason he looks like that is if you have a thin white dude with curly black hair, he looks exactly like you're describing. It looks like it's trying to be a perfect human being that somehow got fucked up.
Yeah, like, and I'm not trying to be mean because, like,
No.
from the roles I have seen him in, what little bit I have seen him in, like, he seems to be pretty decent, and he looks like he's all right with Dune. It's just comparing him to Gene Wilder, though, to make like an origin thing. And like, I know that that's not what they'd go for, but everyone's brain is immediately like when they cast Johnny Depp, it's like, but that's not anywhere near Gene Wilder where we know it from. I feel like you'd be in the same boat with him too, where it's like
the issue is
everyone's going to compare it.
When the original source material was so corrupted because of the first movie, no one goes back to the source material, and so everything is going to be so drastically different. So I don't know what the fuck, unless it's going to be like fucking Willy Wonka in the fucking jungle looking for the fucking Oompa Loompas.
From what I've heard, that was the gist of it, is showing him as a child and building his empire, leading to him making the factory.
Excuse me, are you forgetting that his father in the fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was what's his name?
You talking about the actor?
Dooku. Yeah, Count Dooku.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. I feel fucking terrible because he's another.
Yeah, I feel like
another one of those legendary actors.
Okay, so here's the thing,
he was
right?
Also, Dracula.
You're talking, yes, he was. We're talking about like the Willy Wonka, fucking Freddie Higginmore, right? Fucking a thin white dude with black curly hair. So,
yeah.
Christopher Lee. I can't fucking.
There we go.
I forgot fucking Christopher Lee's name. So, I don't even know why I brought that up, but like, yeah, we already got his childhood, like, right? His father's an orthodontist who never allowed him to have candy, and that's why he went off to fucking start a chocolate factory.
Yeah.
I don't know how much more you can have unless it's good. Like, you can't
just rewrite it. That's what they do.
But you can't do that because it's just going to be like an adult abusing a child by not letting him fucking have candy.
I'm also looking forward to Dune, Paul. It looks like this one could actually be fun. I did listen to a podcast series where they were going over the books, not reading the books, but just kind of giving you what happens so you know. Which, fuck, there's so much that goes on because there's so many different books that are all that series.
Book. Just the first one. Fucked.
But I did notice on the trailer that they have the one dude who turns into a worm himself. And as soon as I saw that in the trailer, I'm like, oh man, that was like one of the most fucked up things that I remember off the top of my head hearing about this story. So I'm very curious to see how they play with that with this movie, because he's a very creepy fucking character.
Yep.
If I remember the gist, if I remember correctly, was that he was basically what our main character is, but he like there's like a weird thing of like he basically starts becoming one of the giant death worm things.
Awesome.
And like he feels that the planet is his planet because he was quote unquote the first chosen.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious what all they're gonna do from the book with that. But I saw that and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
Me and Anthony have already decided that the only way that we're going to go see this with everyone is like we're gonna get IMAX tickets, and we're actually gonna go see it in like IMAX, not necessarily 3D, but like just on the big fucking screen to really fucking experience. Because there are certain movies like that, like when me and Anthony went and saw Rogue One.
Oh, you went to see it in IMAX?
In IMAX, and it fucking hits different on IMAX, man. It is just fucking in your face. So we figured if we're gonna go splurge to see what is probably gonna be the sci-fi movie of the decade, then we should probably splurge and just go fucking all balls to the walls.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Speaking of like the bigger things like that, actually more sci-fi. Actually, I went to go see Transformers 2, the Revenge of the Fallen there in theaters.
Yeah.
with my grandfather, my great uncle Rob, and my great uncle Tracy, and it was like I think a couple of my younger cousins when that movie came out, and basically they wanted to do. My grandpa was just like, oh, let's go do something with the kids, whatever. And he's like, yeah, why don't you come along? You like Transformers? Sure. And I'm like, sure, why not? They had no idea what they were walking into, taking us all to go see Revenge of the Fallen, with just the amount of Michael Bay's sexual innuendos splayed across the scenery of that movie.
Also, just as a quick shout out to Megan Fox, who still looks fucking absolutely amazing to this day. Oh, no, don't tell me that, Paul. That's bad. I don't want to see that.
Dune may be chopped up for IMAX, is what Paul is commenting.
I could actually see that. I could see that. I could totally see that. Well, that makes me rethink things. But like, Megan Fox is amazingly attractive still. When I was dating another girl in high school, her father, super into classic cars, right, and was a big motorhead and shit like that. So like all the cars,
like rebuild them and whatnot.
He had like
or at least work on
classic cars. He worked for GM for years, so he had classic cars all the way through. He had like a '79 Stingray convertible Corvette that he recently sold. So, but like, it was candy apple red. It was really nice. So like, he wanted to go see these movies, so we went and saw the first movie with him, right, with me and her and him, and it was fine. But the second movie is where like Megan Fox is much more like stripped down. It made for very awkward time and ride home. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that
like the opening scene where she's bent over a motorbike, you're like, okay, well, this is now officially the most awkward thing I've ever done.
For any of you watching this, or any of you that listen to this on your podcast platforms or wherever the fuck, if you have not watched Revenge of the Fallen recently, just look up Megan Fox in the first Transformers movie. Right? She kept like clothing for her entire body for most of that movie. There were definitely times where they sexualized it because it's Megan Fox, but it wasn't as revealing. Whereas you go to the second movie and it was just all booty shorts, all crop top. Like there was no full pant, nothing. It was just Megan Fox and all hotness that he could possibly get on camera. It was such a horn dog thing with that movie, and I don't understand Michael Bay's obsession with this, with taking child properties and then adding like Megan Fox in there and having her slow-mo tits. I don't
understand it. You don't get it. You get it.
I don't get it from a childhood movie standpoint. They're childhood properties, and you're just like, I'm gonna sexualize.
Doesn't matter, bud.
Everything.
You know why he's doing it? It's for that exact reason. And it. To be what we got? Who we got? We got
comment from Paul. I'll let you finish your thought because
go ahead. No, go ahead.
The only good Transformers movie is Transformers the movie, 1986.
I think aren't we going to see that Sunday, right, with Anthony for his birthday in the movie theaters?
We're going to see the re-release of that movie, folks.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
So good.
Anthony was obsessed with it, and we didn't have a choice. Anthony was like, "We're going to see this fucking movie.
This is for my birthday. We're going." Okay.
Like, all right, bud.
I will say that because of Michael Bay, I do believe that Megan Fox's any chance she had at a movie career was shot down because she's in other movies. She's actually a pretty good actress, but only people want is her to take her clothes off. Like, which I recently listened to a podcast that was reviewing horror movies, and they did Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that one up.
I rewatched it, and it is so much better than fucking people give them credit for. Like, it only works because men are stupid.
It got shitted on when that movie came. I actually own that movie because, first off, that movie got shitted on when it came out because the advertising for it was fucking genius.
It was all Megan Fox.
You're going to see Megan Fox's tits, guys. You're going to see full-on tits, and everyone's like, oh, fuck
And
yeah,
who's-
everybody was jerking off watching the trailer.
Who's the
Then the movie came out.
Who's her co-star? Is it Amanda Seyfried? Hang on, what is it?
I don't remember her name. I know she's in Ted 2.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's in a lot of things. That I've
Yeah, it's
seen.
Amanda Seyfried. Or
Yeah, there you go.
Seyfried. Yeah, absolutely. So,
But no, that movie's way better than people give it credit for. Like, because the marketing for it was that, but the whole movie, it's just a tease. The whole movie is a tease of,
yeah.
are you going to see her tits? Are you going to see her naked? No, we're going to frame it just above so you don't see anything. And then she's going to brutally murder the people who are just amazed by her tits.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, so I was listening to it and they're like, why does it was got shit on because the marketing was all, oh, it's Megan Fox. I'm already dead inside, Paul.
Yeah.
It's the marketing was all Megan Fox, and so like the movie got like poor reception from like critics for that reason alone. But you go back and watch it, and you're like, if this was roles reversed, right? Like if this was a really hot guy, like entrapping women, one, it doesn't work because it's bad. Two, women aren't stupid enough to sneak into a house that's being built for a booty call. Whereas if your dick is hard, you're going anywhere for sex. So, and I went back with that mindset, and like it's so much fun. It's such a good horror comedy. It is so much fun.
Michael's right. It is absolutely fun. It's a fun, as Mike put it, like a campy, goofy kind of horror movie thing. But no, yeah, it got shitted on just because of that.
Yeah.
But the movie itself, not bad at all.
No.
It'll provide you with exactly the right amount of entertainment that you want out of a movie like that.
100%.
100%. But no, Megan Fox kind of killed her own career, though.
Yeah, she did do a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's the infamous calling Spielberg and working with Spielberg and Bay, comparing them to working for Hitler, which didn't go over well with Spielberg.
No,
for obvious reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, she kind of did it to herself, but
I mean,
she's not a bad actress when she's in the right role.
Years later, though, you think about it. While those were not the right words to use, she's not wrong. I mean, it's come out that Michael Bay is an absolute ass to work with and expects.
Oh, I can only fucking imagine if you watch any Michael Bay movie, folks, and I'm saying any Michael Bay movie, the biggest thing you can take away is not only the obvious of the he likes explosions and shit. It is also that Michael Bay is so overly sexual in everything he makes.
Yeah.
And
go back and watch anything Michael Bay.
Ever since this got pointed out to me, I can't unsee it if it's ever on TV.
Yeah.
Well, not TV because they have to blur some things, whatever. But there's a scene in one of the Bad Boy movies, I think it's Bad Boys 2, where he just deliberately has rats fucking. And it's not like a rat on top. It's like a rat on its back and the other rat just ramming the shit out of it. Mm-hmm. And it makes no sense to be in the scene other than Michael Bay just being like, ha, look, rats fucking. That's funny. Like, no, man, like that doesn't fit. It doesn't even make sense. Like, you're trying to show that there's like a big, intense like negotiation going on, but the opening thing is two rats fucking like people for some fucking reason. Like, I don't get it. And he also tried to make the turtles fuckable, but they're fucking turtle people, man. Like,
well, and
they're turtle people.
I will say that just to round out our Megan Fox corner, which I have so aptly, she's actually making kind of a comeback for herself. Like she's in she's in all of Machine Gun Kelly's videos just because they're dating. God. But like she's in something called Midnight in the Switchgrass, and then she's gonna be like, apparently there's rumors she's gonna be in Expendables 4. There's a movie called Johnny and Clyde coming out. She's gonna be in a Netflix original movie called Night Teeth. There's a movie called Good Morning for You, Big Gold Brick, and then the last two that are coming out in 2022, right, is going to be a movie called Aurora, which looks like some sort of space odyssey, where she plays the title character, as well as Nia, Legend of the Golden Dolphin, and she plays a princess in that. It's an animated movie, so she's starting to make her way back. I mean, she's never not been relevant as far as her movie career, but like there's a lot in the works right now for her. So
Paul here. Michael Bay is his biggest fan. I
Yeah.
cringe when I see him attached. You're
Yep.
not the only one.
Yeah.
I always have. I think the only Michael Bay movie I can say without a doubt that I enjoyed that he was attached to is A Quiet Place 1 and 2.
Did he do?
He is
guess I-
credited as director with those movies, and it's fucking amazing that he's associated with it because it's not overly sexual and they're decent. They're actually really fucking
Well, I
good
think-
horror movies.
That's because someone else wrote the script, right?
I'm pretty sure John Krasinski
John
and his wife
Krasinski,
there
yeah.
like wrote the movie, but Michael
Yeah.
Bay's the director.
Right.
But
he
even
had
with
to have
him being the director, I'm surprised he didn't fuck that up somehow,
The
trying
thing
to
is,
add
it's
his own
like-
little cringy shit.
right from like the beginning, like the first. What was your first Michael Bay film? Do you remember? Because I
Bad Boys
guarantee.
1.
Was it fucking really?
That's the first thing I can think of. I remember seeing Bad Boys, the first movie,
Okay.
early on.
I'm just trying to get to the bottom of his film career, so give me 1 second because I'm pretty sure mine is Armageddon. And guess
fuck,
what?
That's right. He did Armageddon.
guess what? There's a lot of fucking sexual tension in that one too.
I forgot he did Armageddon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yay. He's also going to be attached to Quiet Place Part 3, which is apparently in production.
I didn't know. I had no idea they were actually going to do a third one. Because I watched a second one recently, and the second one I felt kind of tied it up nicely. I mean, you could make a spinoff, but I didn't think they'd make another part.
I'm looking through, like, because now I pulled up his IMDb page. Like, you have Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh God,
the
Pearl
Amityville
Harbor's
Horror,
such a
the
garbage fire.
Island. Do you remember the Island where they're like fucking clone people? In the blink of an eye, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, the Hitcher, Transformers, Their War.
Wait.
Sorry,
The remake Hitcher, I assume. What year?
2007.
Yeah, that's the remake one.
Yeah.
Which after seeing the original, I fucking hate the remake now.
The Unborn, Horseman, Friday the 13th, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, Nightmare on Elm Street, I Am Number 4, Transformers Dark of the Moon, Pain and Gain, The Purge, Transformers Age of Extinction, The Purge Anarchy, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ouija, Ouija, Project Almanac, $13, $1 Billion Wreck, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Out of the Shadows, The Purge Election Year, Ouija, Origin of Evil, and then he was the executive producer on 38 episodes of Black Sails, the Showtime original like pirate fucking movie or pirate show. Yeah, apparently that's what it fucking says. Transformers: The Last Night, Horror at Cecil Hotel, which I can't get into the Cecil Hotel, so it's fine.
I think I would rather watch any Transformers movie other than The Last Night.
Yeah, it's a dumb one. I mean, it's so like let's talk about his upcoming projects, right? We have the Forever Purge. Is that out yet? Or is that okay? Cool.
Yeah, that had just come out recently.
So he's got a movie called Little America, Armored Apartment 7A, Ambulance, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and A Quiet Place Part 3 within the next 2 years. So I didn't realize Bay was a horror director, I guess, until
I mean,
he's filmography.
Dabbled in a lot of things. And yes, fucking thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for agreeing with me on this. The Hitcher with Rutger Hauer was fire. Fuck yeah, it was, man. That's the original one from 1986. And that movie is so much fucking better than the one they put out in 2007. Like, don't get me wrong. I like the people that were in the 2007 version. It's just, it does not even come close to holding a fucking candle to that original movie. Because, like, the original Hitcher was, it wasn't about a couple, which is something, it's something that you'll notice with, like, the early 2000 remakes of horror movies. If it's something where it was just one person, they tried to make it a couples thing for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
The remake is too much of, it shouldn't have been a Hitcher remake. They should have just made it a, what the fuck was that movie with Paul Walker and Joyride with the trucker?
Okay.
They
Yeah,
basically
I think so.
just made that movie over again, but they tried making it the Hitcher, and it was just irritating to me. But But the original Hitcher was a teenager who's driving across country to do his own thing. And he picks up the dude in the rain. And then the dude very creepily at Rutger Hauer there is just like, you ever know what it's like to die, boy? You know what it's like to feel pain? He has like the switchblade. Kid kicks him out. And then he ends up seeing him in another car as he's going. He murders that family. And then the whole movie is him trying to get help for this dude who's like following him, hitchhiking and murdering everybody he goes hitchhiking with, trying to get to this kid.
Okay.
But the original movie was just so much fucking better. You're right, Paul. It was an on the edge of your seat kind of movie because every time he thought he was safe, there would just be one little thing that would happen to let you know that it's about to go south, and then it would just everything hits the fan, and it's fucking fantastic. But the new movie was very much just, it was like Joyride met The Hitcher, and it wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Man, Michael Bay, though.
Yeah.
I honestly hate that he tried doing Ninja Turtles. I fucking hated that. But what do you do? There's nothing we could do. And Anthony has me all excited for Transformers Rise of the Beast, but it's by the look of it, it's in the Michael Bay verse, which isn't what it was originally said to be. So I'm starting to lose faith. As much as I love the thought of Ron Perlman playing Optimus Prime, like Primal, the fact that Michael Bay is directing it doesn't make it any better for me. So
nope, not at all.
Also, I just want to say, with that, while I'm speaking about it, how the fuck does he get to the Beast Wars shit now? Like, what the fuck, man? This is like the 7th or 8th fucking movie in the series of shit. You're just now getting to Animal Transformer? Like,
I mean,
that should have been where you started if you wanted to use them.
I don't think he really wanted to use them, and I don't think anyone would have really greenlit anything that he would have done unless he did Transformers first.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I just, Paul, 360 explosions. That's like all he's fucking good for, in my opinion. Like whenever he's directing the movie that he made, he just relies on that. He has a sexual thing for explosions. It's the only explanation.
Yeah, he gets
for
real
how much shit he does.
Explosions.
I fucking hate it. We also had while we're talking about movies and whatnot, we had the final trailer drop for Halloween Kills. I don't know. I enjoyed the Danny McBride and whatnot. The 2018 one. I'm curious what the fuck this movie's gonna be. I think it caught me and Anthony's interest the most for the fact that Michael's not just stalking around town, getting a few kills here and there. That this one's very much like, he just murders any person he comes across, and it's like, that could be an interesting time then. Instead of him just kind of stalking around, him just straight going ham. Like, I'm fine.
Well, I mean, he's been waiting for so long, so
he's been waiting all these years, all that pent up rage.
He's just been
Paul,
in and out of mental hospitals, and he's been killed like 6 times. So, like, at some point in time, you got to go offensive, right? Sometimes the best offense isn't a good defense. Sometimes you just got to stabby.
Oh, God. It made me think, though, when I was at that fire last night, that trailer, seeing it today, I was like, man, how fucked up would it have been? We're like, oh, man, let's call 911. And then just Michael Myers comes walking out of these vehicles, starts murdering people. Like, Paul, we need to fucking go. Like,
right?
911's not going to help anybody now.
Right. Fuck.
Jesus Christ. But what were, there was that trailer. They put out another trailer for the Batman.
Yep.
Which wasn't much different from the first trailer, but it
still haven't seen it, but I don't.
Yep. You haven't seen any of the trailers yet?
I haven't seen any of the Batman trailers yet.
And why is that, Michael? Are you afraid about this movie?
No, but I figure I might as well just go to it empirical. Like if I see it in a movie that we're gonna go see, that's fine. But I don't want to get my expectations up. I would like to go into it blind. Me and Robert, we sometimes see eye to eye on different things. Sometimes we don't. So we'll see how me and Bob get along with this one. So
are you referring to Robert Pattinson?
It's Bob. Yeah. Yeah, me and Bob.
All right. I was so confused for a minute. I'm like, who the fuck is Rob?
Me and Rob. Yeah. We're just we're on that level, me and him. A mutual respect for each other. He's playing a Batman, I'm not, so maybe Rob will surprise me. If he surprises me, I'll go ahead and give him the Battinson name. But for now, we'll see how him and Rob do.
I mean, from what I've seen from it so far, I think it'll be all right. But I do have my worries with Robert Pattinson being Batman.
You mean Bob?
Yeah. With Bob being Batman, there are some concerns I have. But
the fact that it's almost 3 fucking hours long.
Yeah, the fact. Well, of course, yeah. The reviews for it and whatnot were saying this is a 3-hour long movie, which makes me think that Matt Reeves might have been given the same ultimatum that a lot of people have been given working for WB, which is you get one movie and maybe other ones, but seeing the pattern, you're not going to get another movie. So he just was like, fuck it, let's just do it then. Much like he did with the Joker and whatnot of like, yeah, no, this probably won't do anything. So I don't know, fucking go for it. And he was like, okay, well, I'm going to go for it then.
But the Joker,
they seem to have done the same thing.
You know, the Joker's getting a sequel, right?
I did see that's getting a sequel. I've also seen that he wants to tie in the Joker and the new Batman. If this one does well, he wants to try to tie everything kind of neatly together.
I'd rather not.
Yeah, well, Mike, we don't always get what we want.
That's very fair. That's, yeah.
I don't think it'll happen, but we'll see. Because Matt Reeves was both of them, wasn't he? I can't remember who did the Joker. Which is stupid because I fucking own it. I think I would know who made it. But I'm stupid, folks. I'm going to look that up now because I think he made that one as well. I think that's why he got greenlit for this one.
Probably.
No, it was Todd Phillips did the Joker. Wait, hang on. Produced by Todd Phillips. Where's the director? Yeah, directed and produced by Todd Phillips. Okay.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
But that movie did so well. Matt Reeves' idea for the Batman got greenlit. So we'll see. The long ass runtime does have me a little bit worried, but at the same time, there's a lot of characters he's having in it. So maybe that's why it's just so it balanced out. I don't know.
Sure.
I haven't heard anything negative, but I'll wait to see. Wait when it comes out to see if it's as good as people were trying to say.
Right.
Yeah. Movie experiences. I'm trying to think. I feel like there was one that I had, and I completely forgot to mention. So we had the Van Helsing. We did. Anthony got to talk about his fucking sexual deviant that he is.
Yep.
Which, by the way, folks, don't take Anthony as like a sexual deviant all the time. Like, high school Anthony was a different person than Anthony now. Other than he's still always horny. He just he doesn't do the whole movie thing anymore. I don't think because mainly that wouldn't work on his wife. So
no.
Yeah,
she didn't do that.
Yeah, he'd get hurt.
Yep.
Get hurt a lot.
Sure would. Yeah, he'd be dead. He'd be dead.
He'd be dead real quick.
He'd be dead quick. Dead.
I'm also seeing in the comments there with Paul the no more Avatar, like the Avatar thing. You also had a comment here about enough with the Quiet Place, which I get.
Yeah, I do too.
They've been hyped up a lot. I didn't even see the first one till after it had come out because I saw Michael Bay as director and I was very just like, I don't give any fuck about that movie.
Right.
But I didn't mind it. I liked it. Recently saw the second one. Didn't mind that one either. But I definitely don't need a third one. I can definitely agree there. I don't need a third one. I think it was fine the way it ended in the second one. If you haven't seen it, then if you like the first one, just go see it. Doesn't need a third one. Kind of like the Joker doesn't need a sequel either. But
right,
Hollywood, I guess. I don't fucking know, man. I don't fucking know. They keep making these fucking movies, and it's all shit that we don't need sequels to and whatnot. I don't fucking know. So we kept talking about the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit and shit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say the aftermath of that is starting to come out, folks. Then I just wanted to cover over quick since we're talking about movies. Because of all this shit, bigger name movies such as the Batman and whatnot, apparently things like that, or especially Marvel movies, aren't going to get a home release kind of thing because now studios are very afraid of if they do that, if there's some kind of lawsuit that could come out of that.
I mean, here's the thing.
Anybody that was signed on a movie beforehand, they aren't putting on streaming because they just don't want to go through this hassle.
I mean, here's the thing. You still could just give the actors what they're fucking worth. Like, I mean, you don't have to give them everything, but you could settle on a contract negotiation.
That would be the simple way. It's just amend
the
fucking contract for the streaming side instead of trying to be shady dicks about it. But okay. But I also saw something about I didn't actually read it because I can't imagine. In my brain, I can't wrap my head around what would cause it. But supposedly because of the Johansson lawsuit, the two brothers who did Endgame and Infinity War, apparently they aren't going to be able to do another Marvel movie now. I guess it's a disagreement between them and Disney about how they handled it. They don't want to work with Disney again, so
understandable.
Yeah, which has happened quite a bit. There's a lot of people who are very much against them and also trying to save their own ass. Much like Elizabeth Olsen stood up for Scarlett Johansson, but then also had to be like, I do enjoy playing the roles. Like, everybody says something about it, but then you also have to save face so you're not immediately fucking fired by Disney.
I totally understand. You can say I support her because of the contract and everything that was, but I enjoy playing fucking, Wanda Maximoff, so I would like to continue to do that. Just in the future, we have to make sure contracts are right.
That's fair. And I think that's ultimately everybody could have avoided all this shit if they did. But with that, folks, I'm trying to think of any other theater. You have any other theater experiences you want to throw in there, Mike?
No, that was my big ones I got to talk about. So
that's fair. That's fair. Well, folks, with that, I'll just wrap up with things that are going on and whatnot. We got October coming up. Should be a fun time. We got some movies we want to talk about. Tried bringing this up Thursday, but for anybody who tried to watch that, there were just a lot of issues. There was a lot of last minute things that kind of happened.
Yeah.
But because of that, I'll just say this now. So we have Primal Force, Ron Perlman. We're gonna be covering. We're gonna be doing that one in October. We also got another movie from my childhood that I'll throw in there at some point, and I got to talk with Anthony and Mike about anything else they want thrown in. But I believe it's called Komodo. But it's I vaguely remember it from my childhood in the deepest parts of my young brain. One of the earlier horror movies I watched was about giant Komodo dragons in some Florida Keys island, and jogged some memories. So that one's going to be coming up too. Because my God, watching the trailer, it does not hold up.
Yep.
So. Cerebral Pulse says, as a housebound cripple, the home streaming has saved my sanity. No, I believe that. I believe that.
Agree, 100%.
In a situation like that, then yeah, the home streaming great. But even in a case even for somebody not in this situation, I watched Reminiscence through HBO Max because I'm not gonna go to a theater for a movie I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not.
Right.
So the streaming helps with that, in my opinion. And again, if they would just fucking amend contracts, you could make it work and still make fucking money. It's stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll be coming up in October. We have Odd Quest will be starting back up. So Odd Chat won't be happening. we're gonna end up doing some D&D stuff. James Husky Poo, as some of you may know him, Husky Poo there, is going to be helping me out. We got some things that we're working on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, though, guys, thank you all for tuning in, and anybody who listens to this, thank you. You can find us at...
Always shout out to Paul, because he always helps contribute to the conversation. So do want to
very much does.
Just like from me, I don't know Paul personally, but like I always enjoy when he's in the chat because it always gives something to talk about.
That's very true. So yes, thank you, Cerebral Paul. Thank you so much there for being in the live chat, and all of you. You can always catch us Oddcast Network on YouTube, Twitch. We even stream it on Twitter with the fucking thing with Twitter, just because I don't know why not.
Right, it's there.
Oddcast Network everywhere. At Oddcast on Twitter, Oddcast Network anywhere else, oddcastmedia@gmail.com. If you feel like emailing us, if you're on Twitter, you can either follow us at Oddcast, or if you have something you want us to say on the show, it could be a story about something you enjoy, whatever, like today. You can always just tag it with #StayOdd, and I can find it that way. If you don't want to have another person you follow, whatever, I don't know. I don't know why people do what they do. But also, guys, we have stuff. Early episodes and bonuses and shit, patreon.com/oddcastn. You can go there, support us with the shows we do, get the extra bonus shit we put up, get Anthony and Mike shows early. And just stuff, man. Like, I don't know. We lost Anthony early on because it's his birthday, so go wish him a happy birthday. I already posted on Twitter and shit. So go wish that fucker a happy birthday. Absolutely. And to all of you, stay odd, stay happy. Michael, where can they find you?
You can find us at Beetle_cast on Twitter. New episode was supposed to go out this Thursday, but things have happened and I had to redo some audio, and so it's going to be postponed a week. But new episode coming out next Thursday, where we watch the fourth movie of the direct-to-home video Ronald McDonald movies in season 2 of the worst nostalgia trip ever taken. So titled, I'm sorry, but our podcast machine is broken. Gotten a lot of positive responses from that title, by the way, too, just because of the McDonald's ice cream machine always being broken. So a lot of positive support from that. So it's been really fun. Yeah.
Did you happen to see, I can't believe I didn't mention this before, that McDonald's is getting investigated about that?
Yeah, like at the level. The issue is a lot of them don't have hilarious. Like the McDonald's where we work, Jared, it had a very old ice cream machine, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about mechanical stuff is it doesn't always like to work cold.
Sometimes they set on fire.
Like there's a reason it doesn't work. It's not because they don't want to fucking sell it to you. It's because like on a hot fucking day you can't make 40 ice cream cones in a row and expect shit to work. So Oh,
I blame Husk every day for everything.
Yeah, I saw that they're getting federally investigated in like Oregon or some shit. So
yeah, which I thought was just it had me chuckle because I'm like, man, the meme's really taking a new life now.
Yep.
But yeah, go check out Mike's show. It's a lot of fun. I listen to it. Always brings a laugh. Him and his sister Heather, Anthony's wife, they're a great combo with the two of each other. Heather's very feisty. Michael's just very nostalgic and laughy.
She's not feisty. She just has to be argumentative. This child has made her unbearable. She just wants to fucking fight at everything. She thinks she has to be right, and it pisses me off. She's just like I think in the one that I had to edit some audio on is because like we go on for like 10 minutes and we're just fighting at each other about absolutely nothing. So I had to figure out how to cut that. So
there you go, folks. A little bit of behind the scenes. Good God.
I love her, but I swear to Christ, this kid better fucking mellow her out.
Oh, this kid can't come soon enough. We've all been saying that this kid can't come soon enough.
But she's a cunt. She's an absolute cunt. Good thing she doesn't listen to this.
Yeah. For any of you wondering, like Heather doesn't listen to any of this.
Heather doesn't even listen to our own podcast, so
she can barely tolerate us in person. She won't listen to any of this.
So true.
We're all too much of a goofball for her. But for all of you, again, stay on, stay happy. We'll catch you all at some point. You probably maybe next week. But even if we don't have a show, you can always catch us podcast platforms. I'll put up highlights or bonus episodes out there, so you can catch all that stuff on your podcast platforms, Spotify, where the fuck you listen to, even iHeartRadio for some fucking reason. I don't know. But
yeah.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Pieces of shit.